Hey guys, so it's about my 18th hour in Tbilisi, and to be honest, at this moment, it's about 5:30 at night, and I'm absolutely knackered. So I'm just going to give you an update and tell you what I think of the city so far, and try and answer the question: is it going to be possible for me to execute my plan here? That is, am I going to be able to build a life? Am I going to be able to meet a woman? And is the whole plan going to fall apart? So, as you can see on the screen right now, I took a little video when I got into Tbilisi yesterday. And my first impression was it's very much like Sofia or Sofia in Bulgaria, but a little bit more developed. Right, so what's not apparent is the sheer amount of hills. So I've been to about 80 countries in the world, and never in my life, and I'm not joking, I've never been to a city with so many hills as there are in Tbilisi. It is utterly insane, right? So to go anywhere, you'd be walking down a road or a path, and first of all, the path quite often just disappears, and then you kind of edging along the side of the sidewalk, with some plants and stuff, trying to avoid oncoming cars. They're not going fast or anything. It's not dangerous. It's just a bit disconcerting. Point one. Point two, there are a lot of potholes. I almost rolled over my ankle today. Um, I'm getting the negative stuff out of the way. It's not negative, but the stuff that just jumps into the mind straight away. So there's that. And then the third thing is, it was quite a hot day today, and I've walked about 9 miles today in total. It's part of the reason why I'm tired now. I don't know. I didn't get much sleep as well. But I think, let's say 9 miles equals about 900 calories, actually, I think, at my weight. Maybe a bit less now because I'm lighter. But I reckon I've burned 1,600 calories because of all the hills. I'm not joking. It's astonishing. You're walking along, and then you suddenly have to go around another road, another side street, and there's just an incline like this, and it's not just like 10 meters, it's like 100 meters, 150 meters, and it's continual, like winding around. Now let's talk about the girls. So I sent out a tweet earlier on. Never in my life have I seen so many slim, dark-haired girls with very thick hair and brown eyes. It is literally every single woman is dark-haired, with thick hair, slim, and has brown eyes. I think I saw one brunette the entire day. Um, and the question I was asking myself, after many, many years of not doing a day game or approaching in the daytime, is could I do it here? And what I used to rely on, as I said, is I used to force an IOI, look for something, a reaction, get a sense from a girl that I think she might be receptive to my approach. And I'm happy to say, just on sort of rusty instincts, that I did think there were quite a few girls today that I saw when I was walking around that might be receptive to me approaching them. It doesn't mean that because when I was younger, I used to get a real rush, a real surge of kind of sexual energy before approaching a woman. I don't get that anymore, to be honest. I don't, maybe because of experience, because I'm older now and so forth. But today, for the first time in a long time, I thought to myself, you know what, I could probably do this, and I think I'd enjoy it. So, in terms of actually doing cold approach day game, I wouldn't do that. I never really did that. I did to an extent, and I was very lucky and I was very successful with it. But I don't think I'd be doing pure cold approach and going and spamming like a lot of guys used to do. I'm not ever going to do that because I think it's an unseemly behavior, to be honest. But I'll go back to doing my old kind of warm approach, forcing IOIs or capitalizing off an IOI and approaching. I'll give you one example today. Now, this was a woman who was about 30 years old. She wasn't a stunner or anything, but just as an example of what I was talking about. Because I love dogs, she was walking towards me with a dog, and I looked at her, and then I looked at the dog, and I was studying the dog, and she gave me this big smile, like, everyone likes you looking at their dog. A lot of very attractive, slim, young, or attractive women, brunette women. I think it's doable. It's cheap. The restaurants are cheap. I didn't see any what I would call undesirables. I won't go into it any more than that. But that's also an input, a factor into what my vibe is like. Um, Again, it's difficult to talk about that extensively, but if you live in London or parts of America, you'll know what I mean. If you go out and try and approach women, it can be difficult and it can be vibe sapping to be around people that you wouldn't really want to be around, and they're kind of foisted on you. Say no more. But it was mostly Georgian. I didn't. I had the impression I was the only foreigner there, to be honest, and I thought there'd be a lot more. because I know it's an up and coming town. So overall, very positive. I even think that the amount of hills, and it is an astonishing amount of hills, I'm not going to lie, it's crazy. I think over time that's going to be good. Like I said to you in another video, I'm down to 85 kilos now, and my aim is to get to 78. I managed them no problem. I had a bit of a pain in the upper back at some point, but I'm 50 now. I haven't exercised in a long time. I think that will improve. In fact, I know it will, because I'm going to start going to the gym soon. Okay, now, so overall first impressions. The city, despite all the hills, is very livable, very civilized. It's not expensive. There are tons of Airbnb apartments here, so we'll always find somewhere to live. And later on in the process, I'm also going to rent an apartment through normal means. On to the women. Back in the day, I used to approach from IOIs, from forcing IOIs, and also just cold approach. I think that's very much doable here. I won't be doing pure cold approach, but I think the old method of using IOIs is very doable here, because I got a genuinely positive impression from the women here. When they saw me today, there was a few that gave me a nice little look, and I thought they would be friendly if I approached them. As well as that, as I mentioned before, I intend to join some clubs, some expat groups, meet some local people, meet some expats as well, and go to the same places, the same coffee shops, and so on, so that I can meet people that just continually go to the same places. Also going to join a yoga class and keep up the flexibility. I also think there'll be some quite dark, some quite attractive, dark-haired with brown eyes, thick, dark-haired Georgian women in there too. And so that might be a way to meet women as well. So overall, very positive. I have hope for the future. I think it is possible to rebuild life here at 50. So I'll see you in the next video.